Hello, you are watching Shalom World News. I'm Marina Gosu from Washington, D.C. Here are the latest headlines from around the world. His Holiness Pope Francis is visiting the international Marian Shrine of Fatima once more as part of his Apostolic Journey to Portugal this summer on the occasion of the upcoming World Youth Day. Pope Francis will travel to Lisbon from August 2nd to 6th, making a visit to the Shrine of Fatima on August 5th. The Holy See Press Office's Matteo Bruni officially announced the upcoming visit in a statement on Monday. In May 2017, the Pope paid a visit to the shrine to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the apparitions of the Blessed Virgin Mary to 3 shepherd children. The 38th World Youth Day was to take place in 2022. However, it was postponed because of the COVID-19 pandemic. A key ceasefire set to go into effect in conflict-ridden Sudan on Monday night should pave the way for negotiations to resolve the conflict, says a top UN representative. UN Secretary General's Special Representative for Sudan, Volker Perthes, briefed the Security Council on Monday about recent developments. According to Perthes, lives and infrastructures are being destroyed, and the security situation is preventing the delivery of humanitarian aid. He said that even after 5 weeks of fighting between the Sudanese Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces paramilitary unit from April 15th, the conflict is still showing no signs of slowing down. The fighting has forced over 60,000 people to flee from Sudan to the neighboring country of Chad. According to the UN Refugee Agency, since the violence started, more than 250,000 people have crossed into neighboring countries. A school dormitory fire in Guyana has claimed at least 19 lives. The tragedy took place in the central Guyanese mining town of Mahdia on Monday, May 22nd. President Irfan Ali has proclaimed a 3-day national period of mourning to pay homage to the victims of the blaze in Mahdia Secondary School. Local media say neighbors raced to the scene after hearing the cries of those trapped inside the burning building. Prime Minister Mark Phillips and Minister of Education Priya Manikchand also paid a visit to the site amid a heavy downpour. Officials from the police and fire department claim that the fire in a dormitory at a secondary school was maliciously set. No further details on the cause of the fire or who may have been responsible have been released. Analysts are saying that Iran is developing a nuclear facility that will be so far underground that conventional American weaponry may not be able to destroy it. Research associate at the James Martin Center for Non-Proliferation Studies, Stephen de la Fuente, says that it will be significantly more difficult to destroy the facility using conventional weapons, such as normal bunker buster bombs. The comments follow the discovery of workers excavating tunnels near the Zagros Mountains in central Iran, close to the Natanz nuclear site, which has long been under the scrutiny of international nuclear observers. The satellite imagery of the site shows the facility is at depths of 260 to 328 feet. Director of Non-Proliferation Policy at the Arms Control Association in Washington, Kelsey Davenport, says that Iran completing such a facility will be a nightmare scenario that risks igniting a new escalatory spiral. There has been an assassination attempt on a Catholic archbishop in Mexico, where attacks on clergy are on the rise. On Sunday, May 21st, a man tried to kill Archbishop Faustino Armendariz Jimenez of Durango in the sacristy of the cathedral. After High Mass, a man came to the sacristy and questioned Archbishop Armendariz if he indeed was the prelate. When he replied in the affirmative, the assailant stabbed the archbishop in the ribs before being immobilized by a priest and the sacristan. The archdiocesan statement says that the prelate is out of danger and is in favorable physical condition. Archbishop Armendariz took to Twitter to thank God, the Blessed Virgin, and the Holy Martyrs for having protected him from the attack. He said he feels the suffering of the people of Mexico, which is experiencing polarization and violence. Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen has signed legislation banning most abortions after 12 weeks and put restrictions on so-called sex-altering interventions for minors. The Republican governor says that the bill is about protecting kids and saving babies. The abortion ban will take effect immediately, and the so-called sex-altering intervention limitations for minors will go into effect on October 1st. Nebraska's Legislative Bill 574, also known as the Let Them Grow Act, was initially intended to prevent medical professionals from performing so-called sex-altering interventions and to limit access to hormone and puberty-blocking drugs for anybody under 18. Under a last-minute amendment on May 17th, restrictions on most abortions after 12 weeks were also made as part of the bill. The abortion ban includes exceptions for rape and incest and to save the mother's life, but not for fatal fetal anomalies. It also penalizes doctors who conduct abortions outside the exceptions mentioned. The European Union is imposing new sanctions against Iran in response to human rights violations, adding 5 individuals and 2 institutions to the list. It is the 8th round of sanctions imposed on the nation. The latest figures include 3 senior police commanders, a top cyber official, and a regional prosecutor. The Islamic Revolution Guard Corps Cooperative Foundation and the Student Bossage Organization also form part of European Union's Council's list of outfits that have been embargoed. With this, at least 216 people and 37 entities are subject to the Union Council's restrictive measures. These measures include a freeze on assets, travel restrictions to the European Union, and prohibiting making funds or economic resources available to those listed. A private Christian institution in New York has defended firing 2 employees for signing emails with their so-called preferred pronouns. 2 employees at Houghton University were terminated from service for refusing to have gender pronouns removed from their work emails. The institution is a Christian liberal arts college with over 800 students. The college received pushback from hundreds of students, alums, and faculty for terminating the employees. In addition, the opponents of the decision addressed a petition to the university president, Wayne Lewis Jr., expressing their concerns. In response to the pushback, Lewis Jr. said the university doesn't require all employees to be active Christians. Still, he added that as a condition of employment, all employees must respect the university's positions, doctrine, and beliefs. The Archdiocese of Guayaquil of Ecuador is calling the faithful to participate in a procession entitled Mary Walks with Her People. The procession is going to be held on Saturday, May 27th, seeking reconciliation and peace throughout the Ecuadorian territory. The Archdiocese in the Latin American country has urged the faithful to participate in the event. It has also announced that 105 parishes with 47 Marian devotions have already confirmed their participation. Archbishop Luis Gerardo Cabrera of Guayaquil said that the faithful should unite in prayers seeking peace and fraternity in Ecuador amid the political and social situation the country is going through. Children in the Horn of Africa are living through an unprecedented large-scale crisis of hunger, displacement, water scarcity, and insecurity, says UN Children's Fund, or UNICEF. More than 1.9 million kids are at risk of dying from severe malnutrition, and more than 7 million children under the age of 5 are still underweight and in need of immediate nutritional assistance. UNICEF Regional Director for Eastern and Southern Africa, Mohammed Fall, said that the crisis in the Horn of Africa has been devastating for children. Communities have been forced to take extreme measures to survive, with millions of children and families leaving their homes out of pure desperation in search of food and water. This crisis has deprived children of sufficient nourishment, a home, safe water, and a school education. A new book written by Pope Francis criticizing the continued exploitation of Africa by Western nations has been published by the Vatican Publishing House. Nigerian author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie wrote the preface of the book titled Hands Off Africa. The book is a collection of all the Holy Father's speeches during his trip to the Democratic Republic of Congo and South Sudan earlier this year. It also includes the testimonies of the war victims Pope Francis met during his visit to the African countries torn by vicious conflict. A shocking report from Australia reveals that the number of people seeking emergency accommodations or living on the sidewalk or in cars has spiked. This was revealed by the Catholic Church's Mission Australia report, which points to a 26% spurt in the demand for homelessness services in the past 3 years. The Safe Place to Call Home, Mission Australia's Homelessness and Stable Housing Impact Report 2023 says that the paucity of affordable housing, spiraling house rents, and the decline in the construction sector are responsible for this scenario in the country. The report was prepared using information taken from 63 homelessness and housing support services operated by Mission Australia. The report says that there has been a 102% rise in the number of people sleeping in tents or makeshift accommodations from 2020 to 2022. The Catholic charity is seeking state and federal government help to tackle this situation as the nation faces the worst housing crisis in recent history. A mega Hollywood movie distributor has just received the rights to distribute the super hit Bible-based series The Chosen around the world. Producer and director of The Chosen, Dallas Jenkins, said on Monday that Lionsgate has acquired the distribution rights to all seasons of the series based on the lives of Jesus and his disciples. He said that with Lionsgate acquiring global distribution rights, the series will reach a new level, especially since it is being made available in 600 languages. Lionsgate Worldwide Television Distribution President Jim Packer said that Jesus is a historical figure, and the more he came to hear about The Chosen, the more he wanted to make it available on the best platforms across the world. It was in 2019 that the series began as the largest crowdfunded project in the history of mass media. Today, it has become a global sensation, as it has been viewed by 94 million people in 62 languages. And those are your latest headlines. Join us again tomorrow for more. You can also visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.